Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're returning to the golden age of side-scrolling space shooters with Andro Dunos 2. This title is a sequel to the original Andro Dunos on the Neo Geo, which was one of the platform's better shoot-'em-up titles. Furthermore, it was developed by Pickering Soft and published by Just 4 Games, who have been updating several classic Neo Geo games for modern audiences. This includes the excellent side-scrolling game Ganryu, which I previously reviewed. Andro Dunos 2 again places the player in control of the Yellow Cherry, a cutting-edge experimental fighter and the human race's last weapon against a hostile alien invasion. You'll battle against dozens of hostile enemies from tanks to mechs and giant ships, along with a selection of massive bosses across 7 levels. This includes a dogfight through the inside of a space colony, a one-man battle against the alien fleet, and finally a duel against the alien mothership. Andro Dunos 2 does a solid job of bringing back the classic coin-operated shooter from our childhood, with all the features we enjoyed, as well as adding some new ones for modern audiences. Andro Dunos 2 takes inspiration from classic 2D shooters like Radiant, R-Type and Hellfire, with the player controlling the Yellow Cherry against waves of alien foes. Your fighter is fast and agile, however will perish from a single hit, requiring players to avoid enemies and projectiles. Thankfully, you have access to 4 versatile and upgradable weapons that have a regular attack and a more powerful super that does massive damage but requires time to recharge. You can pick up a variety of power-ups from defeated foes, including upgrades to your primary weapons, defensive shields that protect you for a few hits, and missile launchers used to destroy larger foes. While I initially found myself using the laser guns as they did the most damage, I quickly learned that you need to master each of the weapons, as they have advantages against certain enemy types, such as destroying enemy projectiles, firing through multiple enemies, or protecting your ship. Furthermore, if you're shot down, your chosen weapon will lose some power, so you'll need to be comfortable using all of them. The game controls are very responsive, allowing players to use their ship's high speed to evade projectiles and hazards. And I love the way that your super weapon recharges quickly, encouraging players to use it regularly. The super attacks are quite versatile and have different effects for each weapon. The campaign offers a significant challenge for retro fans, with the first few levels easing players into the game, but quickly raising the difficulty in the later half of the game, with dozens of enemies and levels full of traps and hazards that will quickly end your run. Andro Dunos 2 does include some options, allowing players to tailor their experience to their skill level. The game has 3 difficulties, and gives players the option to set the number of lives available to finish the game. Beginners playing on easy mode can power through the game in about an hour. Once you finish the game, you can play one-shot mode, which lets you complete each level with just 3 lives and a few basic weapons. This offers a massive challenge, requiring players to memorize enemy locations and boss patterns, and is my favourite way to play the game. Finally, when completing one shot, you get Boss Rush mode, which challenges players to defeat all the game's bosses in one perfect run. There are additional options, such as setting your screen size and enabling a CRT mode which emulates a retro arcade screen. While these options offer flexibility, they feel a little bare bones compared to other modern shooters. Having extra features like alternate music, ships, weapons and bonuses would have contributed to the game's replayability, as while it takes significant time to master the campaign, the levels are very short and the boss battles can be over in a few minutes if you know what you're doing. Similarly, the game graphics look almost identical to the original on the Neo Geo, and I would have really liked to see some nicer looking artwork. I recommend Andro Dunos 2 if you're a fan of 2D space shooters or have played the original on the Neo Geo and are looking for a budget shooter on the PlayStation at only $15 Australian. There are a wealth of space shooters on the PlayStation, so this game will have significant competition. But given I've spent a dozen hours completing all of the game modes, I think that's a good indication this is worth a try. Furthermore, I love that the developer is showcasing these old obscure games that would otherwise go unnoticed by a younger audience. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe as it really helps the channel. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you'll join me next time when we look at another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.